I'm looking at the airplane the kind of airplane I'll be going on, seating chart, and comments made on this airline. This is submitted by someone in 5B, which is business class or first class or whatever. It seems to me those people up there complain the most. It should be the people that have the schlub seats that complain. This guy says, "Seat 5B is an affront to decency. Only relent to that seat if they won't let you rope yourself to the top of the plane, or you're some kind of self-flagellant," which means you beat yourself with a whip. "I had an early morning flight, so I needed to get sleep. That's impossible when your feet stick in the aisle despite your best efforts, and served as a speed bump for the drink cart every time a passenger walks by. On top of that, the seats in the plane were incredibly uncomfortable and seemed to barely recline. Avoid 5B at all costs." Wow. I'm lucky I can fit in the dang seat. Not because I'm fat, because my legs are long. I saw a video as to why the windows in an airplane don't necessarily line up with the seats. And that's because the hull of the airplane is made at a big company that makes the airplane part, the part. And inside, before they put the seats in, there are some metal runners attached to the floor. And the seat units attached to those, and they can move them forward or back a few inches or half a foot at a time. And that's why they don't necessarily line up with the windows. The hull of the airplane is made for the best scenario for passengers, with ample legroom, etc., etc. But when some airlines want to cram in another row of seats, and they move everything up about a half an inch or 2 inches. So that's why, yeah, I understand, and it's expensive to go on an airplane. It's expensive for the fuel, etc., etc. And they often overbook flights, so they make sure that they are running with plenty of people on there, so they're not wasting gas just with half a dozen people on an airplane. I understand that, but for people like me that are 6 foot tall and have more than half of me are legs, so yeah, it's really painful. Very painful. Gee, I wonder why the house smells like donuts. Well, they will need to be frosted, or some of them, and then they'll have to sit for a day or so, probably at least a day. Until they are good enough to pack. I'll put wax paper between the layers and fit them in the suitcase somehow. And then I'll be all packed. And I'm anxious and ready, and in a few days I'll be off. Not that I'm off. Not off already. Well, yep. Tomorrow's Whoop Whoop Wednesday, and I do have a joke for you. See you then. Upward and onward.